I'm doing the remake because it is a 2000s horror staple. Let's do it. The Hills Have Eyes is about this family that is on a road trip through the New Mexico desert. So the family consists of Bob, who is a retired detective, his wife Ethel, their kids Brenda and Bobby, and their other daughter Lynn, who is with her husband Doug, and they have a daughter named Catherine, who's a baby. They stop at a gas station, and this old, weird, sketchy gas station attendant tells them that they should take this shortcut, which you should never do, but they do. He promises them it's going to save them time. Half of them get in the car, the other half get in the trailer that's being pulled, and they set out. As they start to drive down this shortcut through the desert, we see that there are these spikes in the middle of the road and it blows their tires out. Well, obviously they have no cell phone service because it's 2006, so they're fucked. So Bob and Doug make a plan that they're going to set out in opposite directions, so Bob's going to try and walk back to the gas station. He tells Doug to walk in the opposite direction, and he's like, if you walk 5 miles and you find nothing, just turn back. While the rest of the family is waiting for them, they also have 2 of their German shepherds with them, and one of them runs away. So Bobby goes to chase her, but when he finds her, she's been killed, sorry. So Bobby obviously panics, and he starts running, but he falls off a hill and knocks himself unconscious. As he's knocked out, we see this girl named Ruby, who we had actually seen that she was at the gas station earlier, and she stole Bobby's sweatshirt. She actually protects Bobby from one of her family members who starts to close in on him because turns out they're going to be a family of cannibals. So Bob ends up making it back to the gas station, but when he goes in, the attendant is nowhere to be found, and instead he finds these newspaper clippings talking about these nuclear tests that the US government did in the area. The tests caused the families that lived in the area to develop these deformities. He also finds this bag of various belongings that he deduces belongs to the victims of these families. He then finds the gas station attendant in the outhouse, and he looks at Bob and says sorry and kills himself. So Bob tries to take one of the cars that's at the gas station, but before he can go anywhere, he's attacked by one of the family members. We cut back to the rest of the family, and we see that Brenda ends up finding Bobby unconscious and wakes him up and brings him back to camp, and he doesn't immediately tell everybody about their dead dog. Meanwhile, Doug has walked his 5 miles, and he has found this huge crater with all these abandoned cars in it. And now this is where shit just hits the fan. Bobby is super paranoid because of what happened, and he ends up telling his family about their dead dog. And Doug has returned at this point too, and they all get distracted when they see something in the distance. So Doug, Lynn, Ethel, and Bobby start to go towards it, so they scream for Brenda to stay in the trailer with the baby, unaware that 2 of the family members have broken in and are attacking her. They proceed to SA her, which I think is just a completely unnecessary plot point to add in. Meanwhile, the others have gotten to what they saw in the distance, and it turns out that it is Bob on fire, and he dies in front of all of them. So Lynn runs back into the trailer where she finds the 2 family members attacking Brenda. One of them then goes to Lynn and starts to unbutton her shirt, but we see Ethel coming in the back behind him. Before she's able to do anything, he turns around and shoots Ethel. And he shoots Lynn in the head and kills her. And these motherfuckers then steal the baby and escape. Now, eventually, Doug and Bobby get back to the trailer, and they're obviously distraught. And Brenda is obviously fucked up, but she's still alive. So realizing that his baby is gone and his wife is dead, Doug is like, fuck no, and he takes the other dog and sets out to go find Catherine. Doug ends up finding this cave that leads him to this abandoned village that was the site of this nuclear testing. As he's walking through, he is knocked out by one of the family members who sneaks up behind him. And he wakes up, he is in this freezer that is just full of body parts and blood and carnage. He manages to kick the door open and escape and finds himself in the family's house. He comes across one of the mutants who looks like a fucked up version of Megamind, and he tells him that they are a result of the nuclear testing and they have just bred and just passed on the deformities. So as this is happening, one of the ones that attacked Brenda shows up. And he attacks Doug and a fight ensues, but Doug manages to take his own axe from him and kill him with it. He also kills another family member that comes in and tries to attack him. Now, seeing all this, the Megamind bitch calls out to someone telling them to kill the baby, but the dog mauls this bitch to death. Meanwhile, poor little precious Ruby hears him calling for them to kill the baby, and she doesn't want that to happen, so she takes Catherine and escapes into the hills. Meanwhile, back at the campsite, we see that they're not done with Brenda and Bobby yet either, but they've set a trap. One of the family members sets off the trap and explodes, but isn't fully dead yet, so Brenda finishes him off with an axe like the bad bitch she is. Eventually, Doug catches up with Ruby, and she goes to hand him Catherine back. But then this gross-ass motherfucker shows up and attacks Doug before he can take his daughter back. A fight ensues between the two of them, but ultimately Doug is able to shoot him with the shotgun he took from the house. Ruby finally is able to give Doug his daughter back. But behind them, Ruby sees that this motherfucker is still alive and aims his shotgun at Doug. Before he's able to pull the trigger, Ruby sacrifices herself and tackles him off a cliff, and they both fall to their deaths. Ruby was such a real one. Doug has saved his daughter and the dog survived as well. They make their way back to camp where they reunite with Bobby and Brenda. It might not be the happiest ending because we see another family member still alive watching them through binoculars from above, and the movie ends.